Hey there, and welcome to the Do Life Big podcast. This podcast is going to be your jam if you want to live to your full potential and don't believe in half-assing anything in your life. If we want to do life big, that means we've got to get out of our own way because we only have this one shot to make it awesome. I'm your host, Kathy, and I'm a mom of three whose BFF is cold brew, a retired school teacher turned online entrepreneur, and an author. I'm loud, bold, and will always keep it real. I'm determined to live my best freaking life possible, and I'm here to help you do the same. I'll be packing this podcast with tips, motivation, inspiration, and strategies to finally get you where you want to go. And we will have a ton of laughter along the way because, let's be honest, we can't ever take ourselves too seriously, right? I'm so excited you are here with me today. Now let's get this party started. Hey, my friend, what is up? And welcome back to another episode of Do Life Big. I am super excited to have you here today. I got to tell you, if you are a parent and your kids have been home on vacation for the last 2.5 weeks and now they're back in school, here we are, back to our normal routine, right? So I hope that you enjoyed your time. I hope you enjoyed your holiday. I hope you had a happy new year. I had all three kids go back to school just the other day on Monday. And now I'm slowly getting back into my routine, which is really nice. I just gave myself the time to be with the kids, be with the family, put work aside, put all the busyness aside, and just was really trying to just be in the moment and enjoy the season while the kids are still little. And then now they're back in school and now I can get back at it again. So what I wanted to talk to you guys today about was really thinking about what you want your 2025 to look like. And in order to do this, you really have to spend some time just getting quiet with yourself and allowing yourself to take a step back and to just let yourself be and really think about what it is that you want. We sometimes can make the mistake that it's like a new year. All right, I'm going to rush right into it. I'm just going to get right back to what I was doing. But if you want 2025 to look different than 2024, then something needs to change. You need to do things a little bit differently this year. And that's going to require you to do some internal thinking, to just kind of evaluate the thoughts that you have going on in your mind, really thinking about how you want to feel at the end of 2025, what you want it to look like, what you want to be doing, the impact that you want to be making. And just really think about that before you just dive in and start taking action this year towards what you want. So I want you to just think for a second here. How do you want your 2025 to be different? Maybe you're someone who's been thinking about doing something and you haven't done it because you have this fear of, all right, but I don't know, I'm going to be a beginner. It's just, I don't know how I'm going to look. I don't know how I'm going to sound. I don't know what people are going to think about me. And you're letting all of your limiting beliefs get in your way. This is something that we really want to work on because you're going to have these thoughts in your mind all the time, every day, no matter what you do. And that is our brain's job, is to keep us safe, is to keep us comfortable, is to keep us doing exactly what we've been doing every single day for X amount of years because it's comfortable and it's what it knows. And now here you come with this idea to be a speaker on a stage or start a community or start the side business or leave your job or leave the relationship or whatever it is for you in your life. Just know that it is normal for you to be thinking all of these limiting beliefs about why this is a dumb idea, why you shouldn't do it, because it's just your brain trying to keep you safe. It's simply your brain just trying to protect you. And honestly, what I like to call this in my Mindset Accelerator program is your little inner bitch voice. It's your bitch voice, literally trying to get you to stay where you are doing what you're doing, even though you know you're meant for more, even though you know that you're not really on the right path, even if you know that something feels off, even if you know that you've been called to do something else and you haven't yet, that voice will continue to be in your little ear trying to keep you right where you are. And you've got to challenge it. You've got to recognize it. That's the first step, is to sit back and recognize, like, oh, wait a minute, this is my inner bitch voice trying to tell me that I shouldn't do this, trying to convince me not to do it. It's trying to scare me. It's trying to produce fear inside of me. It's trying to keep me doubtful. It's trying to prevent me from making this change, because change can be scary. But the only way that you're going to grow and be able to have the 2025 that you want is if you make this change. And so you know what change it is that you need to make. You know that there's this one thing that's been on your heart that you should be doing. There's that one thing, we all have it, that we know we should act on and do something about, but we ignore it. We put it aside, we compartmentalize it, and we lock it away, and we never want to look at it again. And every now and then it might pop up, this idea might come up like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if, or, oh, I really wish I could have done this, and fill in the blank. And then immediately again, the little bitch voice comes in your ear and persuades you to stay exactly the same. And then a year goes by and another year goes by, and we're in the exact same place with all the same hopes and dreams, but just locked away tight in a chest. And we don't want to do that anymore. We want to be able to open it up and actually live the life that you're meant to live, build the business that you're meant to build, really be living life with excitement and energy, because we're literally just on this little ball floating in the center of space, and no one knows how long we're here for. But all I know is that it's short. And so you've got to get that control back. You are not your thoughts. You have to challenge them constantly. Be paying attention. Don't just be on autopilot all day long. Constantly challenge them. So as we go into 2025, the first step for you is to really think about, like, give yourself some downtime. You know, like I was even saying today, like earlier to Nick, I was like, all right, I'm like, you know what I really should do? I really could just use, now that the kids are in school, just a day to just lay in bed and just kind of sleep on and off and just watch some shows here and there and just give myself some time to just be before I just, boom, dive right back into hardcore action and momentum for 2025. And you know what? Maybe I am going to do that. Maybe I'll do that right when I'm done with this podcast. But you've got to do that. You've got to get clear, because the clarity isn't going to come to you unless you are still and unless you allow yourself this time. And sometimes you do have to take a step back in order for you to take a step forward. And sometimes you do have to slow down in order to speed up, and that is okay. And now is the time to do it. And if you don't do it right now, it's a real big missed opportunity for you, because the year just gets ahead of you. People get busy, and then the last thing you want to be doing is going right back on autopilot and just going through your days with the same exact actions that you were doing in 2024, right? We want a different result. We have to think different thoughts. We have to do different things and take different actions, right? So that's the goal for 2025 for you. And I was actually at church over the weekend. We found this really awesome church. So, I mean, whatever. I mean, if you want to hear about church, this is what it is. So we, by accident, I was raised Catholic, went to Catholic school my whole entire life. And we were planning to go to this mass at the Catholic church in our town. And we happened to miss it. It was like a weird time. It was like 10 o'clock. And I was like, I thought that all mass started at 10 o'clock. Why did it start at 9:30? That's weird. Never heard of that before in my life. And so I was like, there must be like some other church somewhere around here that we can go to that's at like 10. And so sure enough, there was one right up the street. We went in, and it was, not a Catholic church, but they got the whole like band on the stage, and it's like a 9-piece whole thing going on with like multiple guitar players, like a drummer. They're singing all these holy songs. And anyways, needless to say, it was amazing, and I love it, and I'm obsessed. And that's where we go now every single weekend. And I really look forward to it. But I really love the message that they share every single week. And I love how they intertwine verses from the Bible and talk about them. It's just so much more relatable, and you can see yourself in these stories, and even my kids like it. So anyways, this past Sunday, I really loved the message, and he was talking all about how we all have that one box in our house that's been unopened, that it's like a junk drawer, or it's like a box of like old stuff that you've had laying around for like years, or maybe even just months, or whatever it is. And you know that you need to go through it, and you may have even forgotten what is in the box, but you have this box and you have this stuff in it, and you know that you're supposed to go through it, but you just keep pushing it aside, pushing it aside, pushing it aside, because you're not making it a priority to you. And he went on to talk about how we all have that one box, and that this year we need to focus on, like, what is that one thing? What is that one box? What is that one thing that we have chosen not to open, that we've chosen to ignore and kind of push aside and have not made our priority? And it's the exact same thing when I'm talking about what you want out of your life in 2025. We all know. And if you sit with yourself and you sit in the silence and you sit quiet and you ask yourself, what do I want? Do I really want to be doing this job? Is this the right business for me? Is this the right relationship for me? Whatever it is, you know the answer. You already know the answer, but you just need to ask the question and then you need to answer and listen to yourself. And you'll never go wrong with that. And being okay starting over, being okay starting as a beginner. I talked about this. I was just interviewed on another podcast and I was talking all about how, sometimes when we're so used to doing something for so long, and then the idea of starting something new, it can be so scary. It can be challenging, right? You're worried about like, is this going to work? It's kind of uncertain. I'm not really sure what the outcome is going to be. Is this the right decision? Is it not the right decision? Am I going to regret this? And I was talking all about that decision when I made to shift from my health and wellness business that I had done for 9 years to my mindset coaching business and going on to launch this podcast and create my Mindset Accelerator program. And just for 2.5 years, I sat with that idea in my mind and just kept shoving it down and shoving it down and shoving it down. You can only shove shit down for so long before it eventually just explodes inside of you, right? You eventually have to act on it. It will continue to haunt you until you do. And I didn't want to act on it right away because on paper, everything about this business looked great. The income was good. It was what everybody knew me for. I was really good at it. I created my whole Instagram account from scratch, all based around this. I was home all day. I was able to move down to Florida because of that business. I have really flexible hours. I mean, it's like a dream business. And then all of a sudden, I didn't feel fulfilled by it and felt called to do something else. People thought I was friggin' nuts. They're like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why would you ever want to walk away from something like that? That is like amazing. But at the end of the day, only you know what's right for you, what's for you and what's not for you. Only you know if you feel fulfilled and excited about something. And if you lose that excitement and you lose that joy and you lose that passion for something, that is a major red flag that it's time to move on. And I was just so wrapped up in being a beginner again and starting from the bottom again. And what if this isn't the right thing? And what if this is a big mistake that I dragged my feet for 2.5 years? I let other people get in my head when they would say things like, that's dumb. Why would you do that? Just keep doing what you're doing. Like, you're doing amazing. How many times have you heard that in your own life, right? You can think about anything. This can pertain to any area of your life where you share an idea or someone's looking at you from the outside in and it looks great to them. And it might even be good. Like, I'm not saying that business was bad. That business was good. It was great, but it wasn't filling my cup anymore, right? You see what I'm saying? And that's important because if we're only here for this short amount of time, we want to make every day matter. And we should be excited every single day to go after what we want to go after. So it wasn't until I drew that line in the sand and said, all right, this is going to be it. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to create the podcast. I'm going to create the program. I'm going to become a mindset coach, and I'm just going to do it, that I was able to get that alignment in my life, right? And was it tricky getting started? Yeah, because I was constantly feeling this pull between, should I just go back? Should I just go back to what I was doing? Right? Because you have to have patience when you're starting a brand new business. What I didn't realize was that I wasn't really starting over again. I wasn't really starting from scratch. I wasn't starting from the bottom of the barrel. I was starting actually way ahead of the game. All the knowledge that I had learned over the last 9 years of building that business, I was able to take with me as I launched this new business, right? And we all start somewhere. And I think that we can get really wrapped up in things being perfect, things looking perfect, things, you want them to go a certain way. You want to look a certain way. You want to feel a certain way. And it can trip us up sometimes, right? And so I want you to ask yourself, what is that thing? What is that thing that I want to do, right? Maybe you are like sick and tired of being held back by what other people think of you. Like, maybe every single decision that you make is made based off of what other people are going to say and think about you. And you're sick of living that way, right? Because you're the driver of your life. Nobody else can create this life the way that you want to make it. It should be your way, right? Maybe you're sick and tired of letting things like perfectionism hold you up. Or maybe you know that you are a big time procrastinator. You're someone that you feel like you have to have all your ducks in a row before you begin, and you're sick and tired of that. Maybe you're just sick and tired of standing in your own way, and you know that you are meant for more. You're meant to do bigger things. You're meant to feel excited and happy and to feel loved and to feel worthy and all of these things. And you absolutely can. And maybe you just want this year to be the year. So get clear on what it is exactly it is that you want. Be okay starting and going after that thing, not knowing what the hell you're doing. Being a beginner. Do it messy. Do it even though you're not sure what the outcome's going to be. Do it even though you're worried and you're nervous and maybe you're scared shitless and you're shitting your pants out that you're going to do this, that you're going to actually quit your job and go all in on your business. Do it anyway, because I can promise you one thing. There's no heavier pain than the pain of regret. And you can always make these changes and go after what you want. And maybe it won't work out, but maybe it will be one of the best decisions of your life. But I can tell you one thing, that if you don't take action toward it and you don't act on that feeling in your heart, at the end of the day, you're going to have regret. You're going to look back and think, oh, I wonder what would have happened if I had done this. I wonder what would have happened or how it would have turned out if I had gone down that road. But you're never going to look back and say, that was dumb that I tried and went for something that I really wanted, right? You're never going to say that because it's going to shape you into the person who you're meant to be. And even if it doesn't work out, it doesn't mean that you're a failure. And you're going to learn so many lessons from that one experience versus just playing it safe, right? It's either shit or get off the pot, right? That's what I always say. Shit or get off the pot. So think about that. And if you are someone who's like, I really would love some mentorship this year. I really want to work on my mindset. I'm really sick of standing in my own way. I want to be better. I want to break through these income plateaus in my business and build to 6 figures and beyond. I want to have the confidence. I want to have the energy and enthusiasm. I want to be a magnet to abundance. Then you should be a part of my Growth Collective community. Usually I sell my Mindset Accelerator program a couple times a year, anywhere between $497 to $997. For the first time ever, I'm opening up an online community where you can get that for free and get my mentorship for free when you join my community. And you don't have to stay for a certain amount of time, for a certain amount of months. You can join for the month if you'd like and leave, or you could stay for as long as you want. So if you're someone who is really ready for that, you're really ready to go all in, because everything that you want in life stems from the thoughts that you think. And if we can just learn how to reprogram our mind and think better thoughts, we'll have more success and we'll have more happiness in our life. And that's what I teach you how to do. You can go to Catherine Reuter on Instagram and just DM me the word growth. And I will get you on the wait list for when this community opens up more towards the end of January. So if you like this episode, if you feel that it was helpful for you, please share it with a friend. Spread the word. And thanks so much for being here. You know I love you, and I think you're awesome. And I'll see you the next time. Bye. Thanks so much for listening in. I really appreciate you choosing to spend your time here with me today. You totally rock. Hey, listen, if you loved today's episode, go ahead and tag me on social and go share this with a friend right now. Do it immediately before the day gets ahead of you and you totally forget. Couldn't be more pumped to be on this journey with you guys. Go make today awesome, and I will see you the next time.